Tonight, WestJet and Swoop customers are holding their breath. A strike notice by pilots could jeopardize travel plans in the coming days. Simone Gavros joins us live with the details. Hi, Simone.
Hi, Taz. Yeah, pilots with WestJet and Swoop could begin strike action as soon as Friday if a deal isn't reached before then. And this comes after a 72-hour strike notice was issued on Monday night. WestJet pilots could walk off the job starting Friday if a deal isn't reached by then.
Our pilots are serious. It puts a hard deadline on negotiations. It adds a lot of pressure to both sides, to be fair. Our negotiators are committed 24/7 to get a deal, and we're hoping the company sees it the same way.
Captain Chris Thal is the vice chair of the WestJet Pilots Union. He says the 72-hour strike notice comes after ongoing negotiations with the company since September came to a screeching halt a couple nights ago. Thal says the union is looking for a contract that will help attract and retain pilots and a schedule that'll support work-life balance.
We want to have management on board with the pilots to show a clear career path that is going to actually attract the pilots to stay. That does include compensation, obviously, because we want that all to be the same pay across the board.
In response to the strike notice, WestJet issued a lockout notice with the CEO saying the decision, quote, was not one that was made lightly, and we sincerely regret the inconvenience and uncertainty this continues to cause for our guests. It goes on to say, we will continue to work around the clock to come to a reasonable agreement as soon as possible in an effort to prevent labor action. Although the airline says a notice does not mean work stoppage immediately, this potential strike notice comes ahead of a busy travel weekend.
It's definitely going to cause a negative impact on everybody.
If the strike is going to happen, I'm not sure if I'm getting back from Mexico or not, so I hope the strike doesn't happen.
Well, it definitely sucks because we're going to Mexico, so who knows what's going to happen.
Geraint Harvey, who focuses on labor relations and commercial aviation at Western University, says that the emphasis on low-fare flights have created problems that predate the pandemic.
When an airline cuts costs, it invariably focuses on labor. It's far easier to manage labor costs than it is to change things like fuel prices.
Harvey says that the pending strike action is not surprising, and the impact of this strike could go beyond travel disruptions. He says that management should be proactive when it comes to these changes.
There should be at least a far greater emphasis on anticipating these uncertainties and then managing for stability.
The union says that negotiations are still ongoing with the goal of reaching a deal before Friday.
We need the company to come to the table. We need to get a deal that aligns with both of our interests, and we want to take everybody where they want to go this weekend.
And here at Hamilton International Airport, they tell me that they're going to be monitoring any potential job action that takes place 3 a.m. on Friday if a deal isn't reached. And they tell passengers to continue checking in with their flights to see if there is any status updates there, and they could possibly check in for any refunds or rescheduling.